right, what's up, everybody? This is Jason from the Tone Lab Recording Studio, and we're back with another episode of Chillin in the Studio. And we had to do another version of Meet Playgrap because we left our boy Jarod out. So what's up, Jarod? How you doing, brother?
What up? I'm doing good, man. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. And of course, we got Kim and Tony. So this is officially the whole band of Playgrat. And this time we're going to change it up a little bit and let Kim read off the questions. And what you got for us, Kim? Let's go.
So since the rest of the band had a chance to introduce yourselves last week, we're going to give Jarod some time. Start with an introduction. So Jarod, please tell us who you are and a little bit about yourself.
Who is you?
I am me, and I'm a painting contractor and husband extraordinaire and somewhat of a musician. Been in a couple bands. It's been interesting, yeah, to say the least, but I like to cook, especially smoking meat and barbecuing and all those kinds of things.
Yeah, I bet you like smoking meat. Like, whoa, guy.
Absolutely.
TMI, bro. Like, all right. No meat smoking in this one. This is a family show.
What are your goals for your role in Playgrat?
My goals, I would say, are mostly, of course, produce music ideas, make music, collaborate. I'd say in all aspects, harmonies, editing, like, hey guys, check this out, type of, we could do anything we want in this platform. So that's my main goals, really. Yeah. And helping move forward in any way I can, I would say, would be my major goals.
And what are your thoughts on the Playgrat collaboration and songwriting methods so far?
I mean, I think it's really cool because the possibilities are endless. It's we're meeting once a week, and we don't have to. We can meet whenever we want and say, hey, look, check this out. I just come up with this, or I mean, I love the way that we're able to do all this, to be honest. It really leaves, especially like Tony was saying in that first episode, that you're putting stuff out in bigger chunks. And so it like gives an option for people to, really like soak it in and really put their ideas with it or to the group for it.
Totally agree. So who are your musical influences?
My influences, they're pretty wide range. I mean, starting at Beatles, moving forward to like Maiden and Priest, and I mean all the way to Arc Spire, and Cattle Decap has been kind of a favorite lately. But I mean, I'm all over the place. If it's upbeat, I like it. Except for there is one song, Satchmo sang it, "Wonderful World." I love that song, and it is slow as shit, but mostly upbeat stuff. So.
Okay, so this question is for the whole band. So Playgrat is currently about ready to mix another song called Aqua Tofana, which is turning out to be one of my favorites. And I just want to ask all of you how you think it's going so far, starting with you, Tony.
Well, it's going great. Once I finally got my tracks done, it took a long time because, of course, you're kind of practicing the riffs as you're recording them. So that's kind of your, I like to do tons and tons and tons of takes. So once I was finally done with it, it was cool to pass it off to Jason. So far, so good.
No.
It's just kind of strange, though, how the raw tracks, how they're going to sound and what they sound like now. It's kind of interesting because it's night and day. So I'll be interested to see how tight they come, because there's always little things about it that you wonder how tight it's going to be. So it'll be interesting to see how they tighten up for sure.
Jason, what do you think about how Aqua Tofana is coming along?
Yeah, I like it. It's a really cool tune, and it's just another kind of hard right, totally different tune than the prior five. And so right now, I've been busy, been working on that, working on the videos and getting these set up. But where I'm at with that is I've got the drums all in and built, and they sound pretty good. And then I just imported his bass take and the first guitar, two guitars, and then basically I need to get that where it sounds pretty good, and then send that back out to these guys. And yeah, it's a cool. What's cool about this song is just I like the story of it, the story of Aqua Tofana. it's pretty neat. So
Kind
Jarod,
of
your
has that
thoughts on
play
Aquatofana?
rap vibe.
I like
Right.
I like all the directions it ends up going. It tends to be kind of a versatile tune, and it like takes you on kind of a ride, especially playing along with it. So I think it's going awesome from what I've heard so far. I can't wait to hear the more solid part of the project, so that I can really dig into it and put my piece in there.
Cool. And my opinion is that I love this song. The first time that I came into the studio and heard it, I didn't recognize it because I hadn't worked on my parts yet. Jason had just like laid down some rough draft vocals over the guitar tracks that Tony had set. And I was like, who is this? And it was like so cool to find out that this was Plague Rat. They're really, really excited about this song. So next question, what makes Plague Rat stand out? I'll go first on this because I think we have a unique sound, and that even though every song is very different because it's coming from a very different starting point, depending on who's initiated it, there are some things that I'm starting to recognize about us, including like our classical influences, Jason's vocals, Tony's solos, and like the heaviness that Jarod brings. So that's what I think sets us apart and makes Plague Rat really cool. What are your thoughts on that, Jason?
kind of, what sets us apart is nobody knows who the hell we are. Is that, yeah, we got 50 people, and hey, you know what? The 53 subscribers, we love you. You guys are freaking awesome. But it's hard, man. It is hard to do just a recording project without playing shows and without being able to like go out and pump it up and drudge up attention. But yeah, I think if the more people hear us and can get into it, yeah, I mean, what I like about doing it is just that it's just so different. It's that's probably the best part for me. How about you, Tony?
No, I would say that it's just kind of a weird type of music that has an old soul almost. Like, I don't know, because we kind of do, like Kim said, the classical thing, and then it just kind of, with all the diversity between styles and everything, I think that just kind of sets us apart as far as not knowing what to expect next. Like, nothing's really, it has a conceptual continuity as far as it's kind of our sound, but everything's so different that I think that kind of, it's definitely different. Not every band does that. There's kind of like proggy type bands that are like that, but I think ours is just a little different because we're kind of coming from a direction we don't really know what we are. We're kind of, as we're trying to fine tune our style, we're kind of being loose about it. So I kind of like that because it leaves it kind of open ended and interesting.
Yeah. Jarod, what are your thoughts on what's setting us apart from like other projects?
Yeah, again, versatility. I'm going to use that word. I'm going to follow up with Tony on. Well, I mean, it's like Zappa meets Christian metal meets grind, and so how do you explain that? I think that we're still trying to find our sound. That's what I was going to say about following up with Tony, I think that is mostly what sets us apart, or makes us stick out more.
I think our sound is searching for that sound too.
It is.
It's like we're not trying to make rules of what we're going for, but yet it's kind of that ride that's taking us there is our sound, basically.
Yeah. It just to follow up on that, like, I think, it's like, do we need a sound? Do we need a genre? Do we need to sound like whatever? I think we're just doing music that we enjoy, and I'm doing the vocals, and Jarod's throwing down on guitar riffs, and Tony's throwing down on guitar riffs and drums, and Kim's throwing down on keyboards, and what gives us our sound is these four people, and so despite whatever genre we dabble in, it's always going to be these four people. So it's ultimately going to have that sound, whether we realize there's a sound or not, and to me, yeah, that's That's fun. Fun.
It's a cool mix
Good
because
times.
it's not, we're not a genre. We're four individuals but that tend to like, go for the same or have styles that might be recognizable after a while. And it's a really cool mix, I think, of people in this group.
Absolutely.
Well, the next question is a hot button topic that we'll be addressing in depth on future discussions. And that is the use of AI in music creation and production. I would like to get a brief opinion from each member on where they stand in the use of AI, just because, like I said, we'll delve into this further, but just knowing that Plague does utilize it in some things. So, Jarod first.
I am still on the fence about AI. While I've been using it, it's been helping me in certain business situations, but I guess you could call it fear. I'm not sure if I want to say I'm afraid of it. More along the lines of, where do we stop when we're giving it power? And so, do we stop on? Is there a fine line where people should just like kind of back off, or could the potentially become Terminator? Who knows? Who knows? But so I'm going to leave with I'm still on the fence with AI.
That's a good answer. Honest answer is what we want.
What are your thoughts, Tony?
It's hard to say without going into depth, but
Yeah,
I would just say that I think you can overuse it, and it's kind of like sampling. It's like, well, is it yours or is it not yours? And, I think that should still be able to use it to inspire certain ideas, and there's different use for AI, whether you're using it for art or whether you're using it for the actual music itself. Of course, I think you can overdo it and get into the plagiarizing type thing, type box. But overall, as a tool, I think it's cool, people that aren't artists use Photoshop to create art. So
Right.
that's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
Not exactly the same, but the same argument, I could say.
Jason?
But without
One
going
thing-
into depth, it's hard to answer that question.
Yeah, it's a deep question, and I think I'm looking forward to right now with this podcast. We've got a bunch of people lined up to come and talk with us, and I'm really looking forward to it. And I'm hoping for a lot of difference of opinions, because right now a lot of people are afraid of it, and it's like, it's taking over, and you know what, and it might, and and I went from dabbling with it to becoming like a freaking AI power user, man. And a lot of people can talk crap to me and everything. Look, man, it's here. It's a tool. And it's like I said before to someone online, I'm like, I bring a lighter when I go camping. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I look at it. Now, I'll just preface right now, does Plague use AI in creating any music? No, none. We're all musicians. I produce all this stuff. We produce it together, and everything has been old school. Like, most of the intro keys for I Am the Science were made with that 1995 chord keyboard. You know what I'm saying? And I'll probably make some videos going in on it. But you know what I'm not is, well, I'll just go on really quick and I'll try to make it fast. But, all of us started in the late 80s, early 90s in our music journey. And back in the day in band, like, it is whoever was good with a pencil in the band, that's who made the logo, that's who made the art. And so that's been me historically in Butcher Shop and other different bands. But I also have a ton of friends that are awesome artists that we've used and would pay to use and would love to use again. But when I'm like making a flyer just to promote my music digitally for a band that doesn't tour, yeah, I'm going to use AI. Like, I could do it on my phone and bang, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to pay anybody to do that. And I could just send a group text, or I can send a little flyer attached to it. And so that's really what I've been doing. And then honestly, it works kind of like a mentor. It kind of coaches me up, because as I'm making these videos, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I have no clue what I'm doing. So it's like, hey, AI, how do I use DaVinci? And it's like, oh, here, step one, pull your head out of your ass, you know? And it's like, oh, okay, cool. Like, so that's how I'm using it. So, and just in my personal opinion, I do think there is an ethical way and there's an unethical way. Do I want it jacking people's art and music? And no. And is that case happening? Yeah. And so that's another debate, you know. And so it's like, is there a way to do it, or do we just got to avoid it at all? Well, my opinion is that it's here, and you can avoid it all you want, and all the people around you that are using it are smoking past you. And so, you know,
I don't see why you don't just try it at least, you know, just try it at least.
And really the most people that I hear like complain about it or kind of hammering down on people using it is all the bands that are already on labels and are doing well and can afford an art team and freaking and a promoting team and all of this stuff. And it's like, oh, easy for you to say. You're on a label, you've made it, you can just focus on your music. Well, if I was 17 years old and just trying to get a gig, I'm going to use the shit out of it. Like, I don't know. So that I'll get off my soapbox with the AI thing, but it's definitely a hot button topic, and I would like to dive into it further with other guests and whatnot. But what do you think, Kim? Sorry if I took too long.
I am for it. I think we put out better content faster by using it. It doesn't create our music. All of our ideas and all of the playing are our own. So in our current use of it, I think it's been nothing but helpful. Do I worry about the future? Yes, just like anybody who can kind of see where this potentially could go. But we're not in the position to stop it, so we might as well utilize it. That's my opinion on it.
Yeah. Is it ethical that it's about to put my accountant out of business? I love you, bruh, but you're charging me too much money, man.
I need AI and TurboTax.
Yeah, I mean, you know, is AI going to paint cars soon? Yeah. You know, is AI creating music? Yeah. Do you want to listen to AI music? Go ahead. If AI creates a hit and you like it, I mean, you know, somebody created the Korean Gangnam Style. Like, I don't know, like that could have been AI. It's still crap. Like, I don't, but people liked it. And so whatever.
I would hope AI does better than that.
Right. There's still going to be humans creating art, and that art is still going to be what we want. You know, it's like you can hang an AI or a computer generated poster in your room, or you can, you know, or in your living room at 50 years old, or no, you're going to go for a piece of art. So everybody's freaking out for good reason, but I also think we're like going a little overboard with it. Like, AI's taking over the world. I gotta drive my Tesla off a cliff. It's just like, man, just chill, guys.
Same shit happened when they invented the calculator, dude. People
exactly.
Out.
Or
you know, I like your idea about using AI and getting to know AI so you know how to maybe manipulate it, or on the other side of that, you know, if you just treat AI like a machine, then you know, maybe it'll remember you when it does become aware. And so you want to be saying like please and thank you with all that crap.
Kiss its ass now while you have a chance.
Yeah, be nice to it.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. So what piece of gear can't you live without, and why, Tony?
Oh God. Well, I would say nowadays it would be amplitude, but like it depends on what you mean by gear, because there's the old days and there's now. And so like,
yeah, right now
all my gear is on my computer. So whether it's amplitude or Superior Drummer, like I could not imagine life without that now, because I don't even want to think about it. But yeah, I would have to just say overall, yeah, any drum program, even keyboard stuff, you know, like native instrument stuff. But overall, amplitude, I think, would be the biggie right now, just because I don't have to have 4,000 amps, and I can have any amp I want, not have to take up any room in my living room or anything. So I dig that.
Awesome.
So
Jason? Oh, sorry. You weren't done, Tony?
No, I was going to move it on to the next guy.
Man, I like Tony's answer, because there's so many things like, I can't not have my computer. But actually, it might be this SSL board right here.
I knew you were going to say that.
Oh my gosh, like this thing has changed my life. And now I can just sit here with my eyes closed and cluck out. And, I've already snuggled with it under my pillow. And yeah, it might be this. But anyway.
Jarod, anything?
Yeah, I'm following Tony's answer. Really, the interface, I couldn't do anything without the interface right at the moment. I could sit here and play my guitar, but with this project specifically, I couldn't live without the interface. The drum programming, that's fun to even dabble in. Just to write drums is fun when you have time for that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'd say the interface is the biggest thing for this project.
Now I want to recant my answer, because without the interface, you have nothing.
Yeah.
Like my amplitude is absolute garbage without the interface. So.
Interface. Right.
Yeah, I could not live without that for sure.
Oh, and it's amazing how much better they've gotten.
Yeah.
You had to spend $1,500, $2,000 for an interface to get one that sounds as good as what both of you guys have right now, back in like 2005.
No.
It was hard. And so this episode's gone along pretty quick, Kim. I think I like how you're doing the questions. I would like to ask Jarod one question while I'm thinking about it, because we talked about it last week, and it was like, so what do you think of this process, Jarod? Like, how has it been for you? Because I know coming in, you were the green one as far as recording online and emailing and all that stuff, and it's been a bit of a learning curve. But compared to where you were and where you're at now, like, what do you think, man? How do you like this process?
Oh, I love it. Honestly, I mean, I like the challenge. Learning something new sometimes is rare to even have any kind of yearning for something like that. But I always find that process fun too. And now aside from business, which tends to be a big thorn constantly, I like being able to let my creative juices flow and really just. Yeah, I like the process. I like how this goes. Recording yourself can be frustrating as hell sometimes, without a doubt. So sometimes I feel like flipping my desk over, but for the most part, it's rewarding at the end.
Yeah, that's a great segue too. What's the hardest part? And so probably that.
Probably that. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. That and doubling guitars. Doubling guitars is exactly right. Is just
especially by yourself.
Yeah.
It's one thing when you're in the studio, and you're sitting right here, and you're tracking, or your rig's over there, and you can just get in the zone, and someone's working them, and it's like, okay, you can just focus on everything. But when you're sitting there and it's like, okay, stop, record, we're like back up, loop, like punch in, and then pick your guitar back up, and like, okay, I'm ready. Like, no, go pre-roll further. Yeah, and then it's like, okay, now mirror this.
Yeah.
It's like,
and it's like one little itty bitty little chirp or slide or something, and I'm like, no, I got to do it again. I can't just let that slide.
Yeah, you go ahead, Tom.
I was gonna say, it's funny you brought that up, because I get the same way, where you're like listening for little specks of stuff. And we were like reminiscing, because you were talking about 311, and so I threw on Transistor, and one of the songs, the very first note dude hits is just crusty, and like I would have like totally redone it, and he totally let it fly, and it had this kind of endearing factor to it. It's like, man, yeah, maybe I should loosen up a little bit, because you get, like Jared's saying, you get all locked in, and especially when, doubling is kind of to cover that stuff up. That's kind of the purpose for that.
Right.
But you're trying to get all the little things, and and you got to know, well, in this part, if you do that and you get it right, and you keep doing it over and over like that, you're eventually going to do it somewhere else in the song. It's like, unless you want to punch in a bunch and do all that, like kind of. Hearing that 311 song, it's like, oh, yeah, I could probably let go and not be all anal about it.
Just listen to a Carcass song, and I heard a mistake in there, and I was like, How did they let that fly?
That's
Well,
what.
there's lots of mistakes in the old death metal and stuff we grew up listening to. You'll definitely in like the kick drums, you'll always hear like little hiccups and stuff. But you know what? Them boys were throwing down.
Yes,
You know, it almost comes back to the AI topic. It's like, do you remember when Triggers was cheating?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like I remember like Triggers, like, oh, like, well, listen to that dude's drums. Oh, he's using Triggers. He's cheating. It was really, I don't know, you guys might disagree and we can, but it was I think it was Vinnie Paul with Pantera that really like just like I'm using Triggers, and then everybody just kind of hopped on board with that. And then you seen like some of the grindcore death metal bands started using Triggers, but it was always like, oh, they're using Triggers, they're cheating. And then you had the bands that were way over programmed. There's still a few of you, you know who you are. There's still a few of you that are a little over programmed. It's like, no, I can do it live, I swear. It's like, okay.
Well, I felt a lot better about Triggers when we played with Macabre, and Dennis from Macabre came over to my kit. He's like, dude, those kick triggers that you're using right there is what we used on Sinister Slaughter. I'm like, oh, that's all I needed to hear, man. That was a dope.
Yeah.
And then when that's the thing though, when you're doing that kind of speed and that kind of technicality, those triggers just help you where it's all in your wrist. And really, honestly, I don't know if, you know, people disagree. You might disagree with me, Tony, but once the full kit was triggered, it really did change the technicality of drums. Now we're back to more jazz style drums. Like you're not having to bang the hell out of those things because you're triggering away. And so it's just kind of interesting is that all these tools that have came up over the years, when they first come out, it's like, oh, everybody's cheating and you can't do that. And then everybody just starts doing it. And then it's like, because ultimately you're trying to put forth this wall of sound and this most, you know what I mean? But
yeah, do you want to sound good or not? You know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
you think
what sounds good now is not going to be the same in 20 years. So yeah, you better.
Now I'm drawing a blank, but there's a couple other deals I remember over the years where it was like, oh, something came out and it's like, that's cheating. That's cheating. Oh, they're using a sampler.
Right.
You know, it's like, oh, Butcher Shop used the hell out of the sampler like there for a while. But all right, Kim. Well, sorry to jump in on your questions there so many times, but it just kind of, you know, I was thinking of like, hey, there's a couple of interesting little additions I wouldn't mind.
But you can always take an interesting segue because we are just chilling in the studio, right? It's not like
that's right.
It doesn't have to be rigid. I have a fun question for everybody. Who is your dream tour lineup? Jason.
Start with Tony.
Okay, Tony.
Well,
I'm gonna defer.
That's so hard.
Too much.
That's a hard question because I would kind of have to know some parameters. Like, is it
people are currently alive, like today?
Okay.
Your dream tour.
Oh man. Okay.
Currently alive. Okay.
It doesn't have to be. Man. It's whatever you
currently want. Alive. Okay.
That's a tough one.
I guess that does change things, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
I mean, if I'm going metal, it would probably be, oh man, probably like a Meshuggah and like maybe like man, that's a tough one. The band we were talking about last week, what are they called? The crazy band.
Igor,
yeah. It would be like a Meshuggah Igor Gojira type tour or something. That's all I can think of right now. I'm sure I could do better, but
how about you, Jarod?
I would say, I mean, anybody that knows me knows Metallica is going to be in there, and Anthrax. But I mean, really, Metallica, Anthrax, Maiden, Priest would be a pretty good show for me.
Old school.
Tickets. I'd go see that.
Yeah.
I didn't know those dudes were alive, so I would have thrown that in there too.
Yeah, barely. They're still hanging on. The ghosts.
Yeah.
How about you, Kim?
Okay, I'm gonna say today, Opeth, Igor, and Polyphia.
Man, why you gotta
be badass?
Why you gotta copy me? Like
that's a good one.
Damn you. You can't steal my idea. Like, how dare you? I didn't have Polyphia. Is it Polyphia?
Polyphia.
I think
TH, but not
No, PHIA.
No, it's PH.
Polyphia.
POLY.
Yeah, that's kind of sick. I didn't even
PHIA.
think about Polyphia. I'd love to see Polyphia.
I know.
Yeah, again, next level.
Yeah.
Like, oh, do you ever?
Yeah, and Beyond Creation and shit. I
Let's
mean,
play it.
really,
Let's play it percussive.
all of them.
Yeah.
I want to see them
Yeah.
all the bands in one night.
Yeah.
Talking Heads.
Yeah, I was going Opeth because the last time we seen him, and then I was thinking Igor because the last time we seen him, and to see like Opeth and Igor together would be really cool. And then I don't know, can Plague Rat open?
Right.
That would be really cool.
Yes,
Like,
anything's possible.
could I open that gig? That would be my dream. That would be my dream tour, is like a couple of heavy hitters and I'll bring you water and carry your amps, bro. Like, come on. Like, let me get down on that. But that's it,
Smoking
man.
meat.
That's what I think. Heck yeah. I'll smoke some meat for that show. Let's go. Well, what do you think, girl? Is that all the questions we got for today,
That's
or
what
what?
I had lined up. Is there anything anybody else wants to revisit or anything on your minds that we should discuss before concluding this today?
I mean, I think we covered everything unless,
I think we covered it, man.
Yeah,
I think that was a good episode. Thank you guys for doing a second episode with us, and thank you, Jarod, for squeezing out some time and jumping
Thank you,
on
Jarod.
here.
Absolutely.
And I think we'll see, man. I might ask you guys to come back here and there. We're going to start like trying to do some guests. But depends. I always want to have at least like a co-host or something, whether it's Kim or Tony or maybe even you, Jarod, or someone else. We'll see. But I'm looking forward to the next episode. We're going to start doing these once a week. And so tune in, check that out. And it is a podcast. And so I just want to get like 3 of them under my belt first, or under our belt. And then we'll start putting them on all of the podcast platforms. Say that 5 times fast. But other than that, thank you guys for coming. I appreciate it. Don't forget to like, rate, and subscribe, all of that crap. And we'll see you next time. Take care.
Bye, everybody.
Peace out.
See ya.